Good day, everyone. Today we will be discussing the respiratory system, one of the most essential systems in the human body. The respiratory system is responsible for the process of breathing and gas exchange, which allows our body to take in oxygen and remove carbon dioxide. Oxygen is necessary for cells to produce energy, while carbon dioxide is a waste product that must be removed from the body. During this presentation, we will explore the anatomy of the respiratory organs and their functions, the mechanism or physiology of breathing, the transport of respiratory gases, respiratory volumes and capacities, important medical terms such as hypoxia, asphyxia, dibarism, oxygen therapy, and resuscitation. Understanding this system helps us appreciate how the body maintains life with every breath we take. The respiratory system is a group of organs that allows us to breathe and exchange gases with the environment. Every cell in our body requires oxygen to produce energy through a process called cellular respiration. Without oxygen, our cells cannot function properly. During respiration, oxygen is inhaled from the atmosphere. It enters the lungs and passes into the bloodstream. The blood carries oxygen to body tissues. At the same time, carbon dioxide produced by cells is transported back to the lungs and expelled during exhalation. The respiratory system also works closely with the circulatory system because blood is responsible for transporting these gases throughout the body. In addition to gas exchange, the respiratory system helps with voice production, maintaining the body's acid-base balance, filtering and conditioning incoming air. The respiratory system is divided into two main parts: upper respiratory tract. This includes nose, nasal cavity, pharynx, larynx. These organs mainly function to filter, warm, and humidify the air before it reaches the lungs. Lower respiratory tract. This includes trachea, bronchioles, lungs, alveoli. These structures are responsible for conducting air into the lungs and allowing gas exchange. Together, all these organs form a continuous pathway that allows air to move from the external environment to the lungs. The nose is the main entrance for air into the respiratory system. When air enters through the nose, several important processes occur before it reaches the lungs. First, the air is filtered. The nasal cavity contains tiny hairs called cilia and sticky mucus that trap dust, bacteria, and other harmful particles. Second, the air is warmed. Blood vessels in the nasal cavity help warm cold air before it enters the lungs. Third, the air is moistened, which prevents irritation in the respiratory tract. These processes protect the lungs and help maintain proper respiratory function. The pharynx, also known as the throat, is a muscular tube that serves as a common pathway for both air and food. It connects the nasal cavity to the larynx and trachea. Next is the larynx, commonly called the voice box. The larynx performs two main functions. It allows sound production through the vibration of vocal cords. It protects the lower respiratory tract from food entering the airway. The epiglottis, a flap-like structure located above the larynx, plays a crucial role in this protection. When we swallow food, the epiglottis closes over the airway, directing food into the esophagus instead of the trachea. The trachea, also known as the windpipe, is a tube that connects the larynx to the lungs. It is supported by C-shaped rings of cartilage, which keep the airway open and prevent it from collapsing during breathing. The inner lining of the trachea contains cilia and mucus, which help trap and remove dust particles and microorganisms. At the lower end, the trachea divides into two branches called the bronchi. One bronchus enters the left lung, and the other enters the right lung. Inside the lungs, the bronchi divide into smaller tubes called bronchioles, forming a branching network known as the bronchial tree. The lungs are the primary organs of the respiratory system. They are soft, spongy organs located in the thoracic cavity, protected by the rib cage. Inside the lungs are millions of tiny air sacs called alveoli. There are approximately 300 million alveoli in human lungs. These alveoli are surrounded by a dense network of capillaries, which are tiny blood vessels. This is where the most important process occurs: gas exchange. Oxygen from inhaled air passes through the alveolar walls into the blood. Carbon dioxide from the blood passes into the alveoli to be exhaled. The thin walls of the alveoli make this exchange very efficient. Breathing is also known as pulmonary ventilation and occurs in two phases: inspiration or inhalation. During inhalation, the diaphragm contracts and moves downward. The rib cage expands outward. The volume of the thoracic cavity increases. As a result, the pressure inside the lungs decreases, allowing air to flow into the lungs. Expiration or exhalation. During exhalation, the diaphragm relaxes and moves upward. The rib cage moves inward. The volume of the lungs decreases. This increases pressure inside the lungs and pushes air out. This cycle repeats continuously throughout our lives. Breathing is controlled automatically by the brain. The main respiratory control centers are located in the brainstem, specifically in the medulla oblongata and the pons. These centers regulate the rhythm and depth of breathing. They constantly monitor the levels of carbon dioxide-oxygen blood, pH. An increase in carbon dioxide levels in the blood is the strongest signal that stimulates breathing. When CO2 levels rise, the brain signals the respiratory muscles to increase breathing rate and depth. This automatic regulation ensures that the body maintains a proper balance of gases. Once oxygen enters the bloodstream from the alveoli, it must be transported to body tissues. This is mainly done by red blood cells. Inside red blood cells is a protein called hemoglobin. Hemoglobin binds with oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin. About 98% of oxygen in the blood is transported bound to hemoglobin. The remaining 2% of oxygen dissolves directly in blood plasma. When blood reaches body tissues, oxygen is released from hemoglobin and enters the cells where it is used to produce energy. Carbon dioxide is a waste product produced during cellular metabolism. It must be transported from body tissues back to the lungs for removal. Carbon dioxide travels in the blood in three different forms. About 70% is transported as bicarbonate ions in plasma. Around 23% binds with hemoglobin to form carbaminohemoglobin. The remaining 7% dissolves directly in blood plasma. When blood reaches the lungs, carbon dioxide diffuses into the alveoli and is expelled during exhalation. Respiratory volumes refer to the amount of air moving in and out of the lungs during breathing. The main respiratory volumes include tidal volume, TV. This is the amount of air inhaled or exhaled during normal breathing. It is approximately 500 milliliters in an average adult. Inspiratory reserve volume, IRV, the extra air that can be inhaled after normal inhalation. Expiratory reserve volume, ERV, the extra air that can be exhaled after normal exhalation. Residual volume, ERV, the amount of air that remains in the lungs even after maximum exhalation. This prevents lung collapse. Respiratory capacities are combinations of different respiratory volumes. These measurements help doctors evaluate lung health and respiratory efficiency. Vital capacity, VC, the maximum amount of air a person can exhale after taking the deepest possible breath. Total lung capacity, TLC, the total volume of air the lungs can hold after maximum inhalation. These values can be measured using an instrument called a spirometer. Spirometry tests are commonly used to diagnose lung diseases such as asthma and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Now let us briefly understand some important medical terms related to respiration. Hypoxia. This refers to a condition in which body tissues do not receive enough oxygen. It may occur at high altitudes or due to respiratory diseases. Asphyxia. Asphyxia is a life-threatening condition caused by a lack of oxygen and accumulation of carbon dioxide. It may occur during choking, drowning, or suffocation. Dibarism. Dibarism refers to disorders caused by changes in atmospheric pressure. It is commonly seen in deep-sea divers and astronauts. Oxygen therapy. This is a medical treatment where patients receive additional oxygen to improve breathing. It is used in severe respiratory conditions. Resuscitation. Resuscitation refers to the process of restoring breathing or circulation when they stop. One common method is CPR, or cardiopulmonary resuscitation. To summarize the presentation, the respiratory system plays a crucial role in maintaining life by allowing the body to exchange gases with the environment. It consists of several organs, including the nose, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, and lungs. Breathing occurs through the processes of inhalation and exhalation, which are controlled by respiratory centers in the brain. Oxygen is transported in the blood mainly by hemoglobin, while carbon dioxide is carried back to the lungs for removal. Respiratory volumes and capacities help us understand the functional capacity of the lungs. Understanding this system helps us appreciate how every breath supports the survival of our cells and the proper functioning of the entire body. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe and enable the bell icon for future notifications. Thank you.